Good morning. I'm so excited to be shooting at a location that I frequent during the summer and spring, I guess. But I'm just so excited to be here because this is a location that I come frequently when I'm experiencing whatever the photographer's version of writer's block is, whatever you call that. So I come here pretty frequently. It's a place that I feel like I always get some sort of shot. But it's also good to just practice new techniques and to come here in different seasons and view it different ways. And so I'm excited to be out here today. I certainly feel like I've been experiencing some of that sort of writer's block or photographer's block, whatever we want to call it, as we approach late spring here in Minnesota, Wisconsin. And the winters here they're long, they're cold, and the springs can be kind of long and cold as well. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but I am, of course, doing a split across the river here. What a fantastic morning to be out here. There's just a little bit of mist from the waterfall, which is sort of creating a little bit of atmosphere. I have my first composition set, and I'm pretty excited about it. There's a handful of rocks sort of on the right side of this composition that are creating some sort of depth to the image, and I'm using some long exposure in the water to sort of lead us up to the waterfall itself. So just a spectacular morning to get out. Great to get one in the books, and off to look for the next composition. Okay, so I'm at my second composition here at the waterfall, and this is sort of the obvious location to shoot a composition here. I'm actually on the formal viewing platform. I'm going with a wide-angle 20mm lens again to make sure that I include the water as it moves out to sort of lead me into the waterfall itself. Again, this is sort of the obvious composition here, but at the same time it's spectacular. The light is just starting to crest over the trees above me here, and it's just spectacular conditions to be shooting out this morning. So I'm going to take this shot, and then I'm going to see if I can find some sort of sub-compositions, sub-compositional elements within the waterfall here to shoot as well. Here, and I'm really excited by some of the textures in the water, which I think could create a little bit more of a minimalist sort of composition. So I'm going to switch to my Workhorse 28-200 lens. This is from Tamron. I dropped this thing in a river last year. It is still going strong. So I'm going to switch lenses here and then see if there's any sort of sub-compositions to pick out in the water. So the sunrise is really starting to get going, and I'm really excited because this is going to create the best conditions for shooting this waterfall. We're starting to get some backlight and some glow, I move my hand, up there in the trees behind us, which is creating a backlight effect on this waterfall. So this is the best time to shoot it. Once the sun comes up, it'll start to shine directly on the water, and that's going to wash out the areas in which we're going to be creating that long exposure effect. I'm shooting this composition right now from a bridge in front of the waterfall, and shooting on a bridge can be challenging because of cars or runners or other people are walking, or yourself, on the bridge. It'll shake the bridge just a little bit, And if you're shooting a waterfall, it'll be difficult to create the long exposure effect that I'm going for in this composition. So I don't see any people coming right now, so I'm going to quick get this shot, and then I'm going to move on and look for some other compositions here around our waterfall. Barely in the frame because space is pretty limited up here. Again, shooting the waterfall, and we have this great sweeper here that only really occurs in the spring when the water is higher. And so this is creating an interesting sort of sweeping effect. I'm going to shoot it as 2 or 3 exposures, probably a panorama style image. But again, we have this great backlight that's happening up the canyon. And it's really drawing your eye into the image because your eye is attracted to the lightest part of the image. So I'm really excited about this one. And again, space is kind of limited. So I'm underneath the bridge that we shot on before, and I'm shooting upstream again towards the waterfall. The light is really starting to kick off. This is sort of the last few minutes in which I'm going to have conditions that I'm wanting to shoot here for these long exposures. And I'm trying to include some of these rocks here as foreground elements leading into the scene. And gosh, I feel like there's a composition here. I've just got to work it and find the right pieces that bring together a good composition. Okay, so after quite a bit of finessing, I think that I found my composition, and it's all the way down here, in between some rocks looking upriver. And I'm using these 2 stones here in the foreground as the foreground elements to lead the viewer up into the image. So I'm excited about how this one is going to turn out. I've added a polarizing filter because the light, there's starting to become some glare, and to allow me to shoot a longer 5-second exposure to get a little bit of texture in the water. So I'm excited about how this one will potentially turn out. I'm a huge fan of good coffee, but today we're going easy with some single serve instant. Looks like our water's ready. There really isn't anything better than a hot cup of coffee on location after just a spectacular morning of photography. So be sure to like this video and subscribe if you're interested in joining me for more scenic cups of coffee in the future. Thank you.